Nathan Aspinall, I want to kick off with this. I'm not going to ask you this question, but I'm going to word it like this. How bored are you of people asking you about the Premier League lineup and if you should be involved? Take it away.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm fed up of talking about it. I kind of, obviously at the start of it, I was kind of putting my argument across why I was in it, but now I don't care. At the end of the day, the only opinion that mattered was Matt Porter and the PDC. Everyone is entitled to the opinion, but it was just every single day. It to the point that I've come off social media because of it, which is sad really, because I love social media, but you know, for my own kind of my own dignity, I just came off it. And yeah, listen, it's been a talking point for the last 4 weeks. Not just myself, you know, Gezi, Dolby, they've had it. I think I've had it more than them. But listen, I'm here now. Looking forward to week one, and you know, forgetting about all the negative stuff, and just you know, looking forward to walking back out in front of tens of thousands of people every week.
But it just seemed relentless. I mean, I was watching Bahrain on the TV, I was watching Winmore, and I was like, seriously, can people not ask Nathan Aspinall some more questions?
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing is, then what happens is, I'll get asked the question from media, and I'll answer the question, but then people were saying, oh, Nathan keeps going on about it, blah, 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 blah. I'm only answering the questions that are being asked me. But no, listen, it is what it is. Every year it brings controversy. Unfortunate for me, I was the one in the firing line this year. I don't really care. I'm in the Premier League and other people aren't.
I think a lot of people need to realise this. Guys, it's not ranked as well.
Well, there is that. And you know what? You know, some of the people that might want it, they don't actually realise what it's like. It is very, very tough.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just going to enjoy every minute of it. I've got a tough year this year because I've got to play all the ranking stuff because I'm defending quite a lot of ranking money. So it's going to be a tough 6 months for me, but I'm relishing the opportunity, and yeah, looking forward to the Premier League.
Tough 6 months, and world number one kicking it off tomorrow, Luke Humphries. In these situations, of course, you're going to face Luke Humphries, you're going to face the biggest names pretty much every weekend for months and months on end. Is that the best of both worlds when you play the world number one on the first night, or does it just? No, is that just hearsay?
We're all as good as each other. That's the thing. You know, it is on the night. That famous line that everyone always says. You know, darts. You know, I could turn up on Thursday night, week one, and bang 110 averaging and wipe. You know, knock him off the board and smash him, or I could turn up and not play well. Vice versa for Luke. You know, we're not robots. You know, we have bad games, we have good games, but we're all as good as each other. We can all beat each other. We're going to be playing each other a hell of a lot over the next 4 or 5 months. Should have beat him the other week in Bahrain. You know, I don't fear anybody anymore. I've played them all that many times. You know, if he didn't play Luke Humphries week one, who would he have played? Rob Cross, Gezi. They're all as good as him.
You've got to beat them all. If you, in one way or another, you have to beat them all if you want to become champion.
Yeah, you got to beat them all. You got to play them all. You know, even when I beat Luke on Thursday night, you know, the winner plays Little or Van Gogh. Don't get easier. Next week I've got Gezi. You know, every single week is tough. That is why it's the Premier League. So I'm relishing the challenge that I'm going to have. I think there's a couple of us are playing better than the others. But at the end of the day, it's a long 16 weeks. And as I sit here talking to you now before it's kicked off, I ain't going to Scoobies who's going to win it.
God damn it, that was my next question. No. But I think with Luke as well, when you watch him win more, especially against Johnny Clayton as well, I think Luke even said post-match, wasn't his best performance.
No.
It was, Johnny 2-1 up, Luke brought it back, it was on fire, 5-2 up, and then Johnny came back again like a typical ferret. Just nipping at your ankles, he came back. Yeah. And Luke will say that it wasn't the greatest performance, but did you learn anything from that game at the weekend where you could probably exploit Luke?
No, because I didn't watch the final. So I've just taken your word for that. I didn't even know he was 5-2 up. So I don't watch darts. You know, I play darts. I don't watch it at all.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch Dolby if he's playing. But apart from that is it. I don't watch it. So I didn't watch the final. Didn't watch the semis. So yeah, I didn't learn anything because I didn't watch it.
Cut that.
Yeah.
Last year, mate, you were hampered by injuries. It really wasn't fair, but these things happen. You've had a few hospital visits already, and 2025 has only kicked off. Physically, how are you feeling coming into the Premier League?
Yeah, physically I'm feeling great. Mentally, I'm nearly there. You know, I've had a lot of issues over the last 12 months, which have come out and publicly stated, but that's nearly done now. Yeah, the hospital admissions that I've had, the papers have blown it up. It wasn't as bad as people have been making out, and the timings of it was incorrect as well. So yeah, I've got it's called a bursa on my elbow, which is basically a bag of fluid.
Yeah.
Comes and goes. I'm going to have it for 3 or 4 months. Nothing at weekend when I played in the Masters, but Monday morning I woke up and my elbow was like a golf ball. But the day after it's come down again. So just one of them things. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't affect my throw. Yeah, the injuries are good. Wrist problem, everything is 100%. So fingers crossed I can try and get through at least 6 months this year without having an injury.
So even with the issues with the elbow, you still can train, or do you have to just...
No, everything's fine. These, in the past when I've had injuries, I've had to cut my practice down to maybe half an hour instead of doing my 3 or 4 hours. But now this bursa that I've got, it's not an injury. It's just one of them things that just appears. It's more, even if I sleep funny, like if I sleep with my arm like that,
yeah,
because it's not been in a natural position all night, I'll wake up and I've got a lump.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with darts or anything. It's just one of them unfortunate things, but it just so happens to be on my right bleeding arm.
Well, with the hectic schedule, it's also congested. We say the seasons start, but really, the season's round the clock. Darts doesn't stop.
No.
And
it does for some of them, but not.
Yeah, for some of them, but it really, if you're at the top level, which you are, it really doesn't. Let's be quite frank. But would you be open to more breaks sort of coming in? So if you're looking at players that are just constantly doing the movement, and dartitis as well, it's like you're probably going to have younger players coming through who are constantly playing, that are probably going to be impacted by it even more. So I spoke to Rob earlier, and he said about maybe 10 months and 2 months off. Because if you're thinking about injuries as well, and mentally.
Yeah, I do think the calendar is too busy, in my opinion. I've actually been talking about this recently, about is there a way you can amalgamate some of the particular events, i.e. the Players' Championship events is 34 of them a year. Could you maybe double the money but make it 20? Gives players time off, but then you've got to look down at the lower ranked players. If they make it a quieter calendar, that's only to help the guys at the top of the game because they're playing Premier League and travelling to the World Series. So is that fair on them? Probably not. A lot of rules get changed to benefit the top 16. So then to take that away from them, I think would be wrong. So how do you do it? It's tough. I don't know what the answer would be. Players have a responsibility, as we always get told by Matt Porter. We don't have to play everything. It's up to us what we're playing. So you do see a lot of the Premier League lads, certainly these first 4 or 5 months, missing Pro Tours and the occasional European Tour, just to try and get a bit of time with your family and, like I say, try and rejuvenate, try and get a decent night's sleep for once, because we obviously travel a lot through the night. But then obviously the injuries come into play. The way that the ranking system is, people are petrified of taking time off. So, yeah, it's tough. I don't know what the answer is. I haven't got an answer. But there is a lot of people getting injured. I know there's a lot of people with injuries. Mike Smith has just come out and said he's got something. It's all to do with repetitive strain. I've been through it myself. I took the punt and took 3 months off. Best decision ever made. But yeah, it is tough and it is very, very full on.
You said in 2024, and yes, you are the king of the walkout, the best in the PDC. Bunting, close.
He's challenging me, innit?
He's challenging
me, and I keep having this debate with a lot of people, and I'm like, the problem is it's not because I like mine so much. I don't like that song.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get on to. You don't like Mr. Brightside?
No, don't like Mr. Well, I didn't start, but I hear it every single day in my life, 5-6 times a day. And you know what? We actually did some media the other day, me and Dolby, and it was like finish the lyrics, and I actually didn't know the end of my song. Like after 5-6 years, you'd think I'd know the lyrics. So when I'm singing it on stage and I'm pointing, and I don't even know what's coming out. You know what I mean?
I never.
Yeah, well,
it
sounds better than me.
It's just numb to you now, mate.
It is.
That's too much time in stadiums, and you go to Popwell too much as well.
I about the Popwell antics.
Popwell at 3 a.m. Get out of there, Nathan.
Love a
but
Popwell.
My suggestion is, you're the asp. The asp is a snake, and I know a song that I reckon could work.
Al Wilson Snake.
No.
Snake.
No. I reckon go White Snake. Ba-dum, ba-dum, here I go again on my own.
I do like that song, but I don't really think it fits in with my style of attire.
Oh yeah, but you got some Nikes on there from JD Sports or Sports Direct, but it's getting that rocky element. Going down the only road I've ever known.
I tell you what, then do a survey and ask my fans. I think it'll be what's the word I'm looking for? A convincing no.
Convincing no. Not enough White Snake fans.
Nah, I don't
out
think
there.
there's enough White Snake.
If it was 1985 all over again,
yes,
and it was Nathan Aspinall versus Eric Bristow versus John Lowe,
possibly,
I think it would probably sell.
If you ever come to an exhibition, mate, that I'm doing, I'll come out for that just for you.
Listen, when the darts isn't going so well, you can sometimes escape and look at your football team. Actually, no, you can't.
I'm also Stockport County as well, so they're doing quite well.
Actually, yeah, you've saved yourself.
They're doing good there. The other team are horrific.
The Manchester United factor, from what you're seeing at the moment.
No, I'm glad Rashford's gone out on loan. I was one of the people that said get rid of him. Who knows? A bit of game time, he might find that love back for Man United. Because obviously there's no debate, there's no dispute. When he is on it, he's one of the best players in the world. He's just not been on it for a couple of years now. So I like Amarin. I think he's young. He brings a lot of energy on the side of the pitch, and I think he's going to be great. I think he's a lot more hands-on at training, kind of what I've heard. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed they didn't buy anyone in January. Obviously, they bought one player, didn't they? I think I remember.
It was the Heaven.
Yeah,
from
but
Arsenal.
Nothing of any that's going to make a difference, really. Let's be quite honest with you. So, hopefully they can make some signings in the summer transfer market. And yeah, we're just still so far off, though, aren't we? I think that's the thing. We put in a good couple of performances, and then it goes back to rubbish again. I think we'd be absolutely screwed if it weren't for Bruno this year, in my opinion, as well. I think he's been fantastic. So, and I'm his biggest critic, to be fair, Bruno. But it's the same. We're in the same place where we were 12 years ago, if not gone back.
Nathan Aspinall, thank you so much.
No worries.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.